WTF, welcome to Funkatopia. WTF, yes, we still have these in the store. WTF mugs that you can get at funkatopia.com/shop. But before we're already doing plugs. Mr. Christopher, I am your host. This is my co-host, the illustrious Jeff Page.
What's happening, everybody? Hope everybody had a blessed 24 so far.
Yeah, I mean, whew.
Oh, Mr. Christopher, let me just say there is nothing more awesome than a Prince medley played by Prince. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, oh,
exactly.
How you feeling before it? By the time it's done, you're like fired up and ready.
And just on bass, by the way. Only on bass. So that makes it even better. Yeah, we weren't even going to be doing a show tonight. Like literally up until like 2:00, I was like, nah. Nah. And then we've gotten
kissed my ear and was like, let's do it.
That's Patel secrets. But then Facebook, our Facebook page has just been insane. I mean, just been insane. I mean, the past half a dozen posts have been ridiculous. I mean, thousands of replies. I mean, and so I kind of felt like, hey, we got to keep things going here. So, hey, this is a pre-show. If you've never tuned in before, we normally do the shows on Tuesday nights, although I'll be making an announcement here later on that next week's show will actually be on Wednesday. So you're going to have to be ready for that. And we'll talk about why and who is going to be joining us on Wednesday next week. But for right now, as I mentioned, if you're new to the show, this is the pre-show, even though I'm not going to be replaying the intro at 8:00. We're just going to kind of go into it and talk about the non-Prince stuff pre-8:00. And so just enjoy yourself. Carolyn, hello, how are you? And for those also new, please make sure that you subscribe. Please make sure that you click on like and follow and all those fun buttons that may appear wherever you're on. If you're on Twitter, it's follow. If you're on Facebook, it's follow or like, and YouTube is subscribe and like, right? I can't remember.
There should be one that says touch, grab,
yes,
fondle.
touch, fondle. But yeah, so what we want you to do is obviously say hello and also tell us where you're tuning in from, because we got lots of stuff to talk about. None of it involves court cases or Broadway performances, just so we're clear that we're done talking about that, and we will move forward. Carolyn, hello, how are you? Sean, what's going on? Man, Veronica's in the house. Linda's in the house. Go ahead.
Veronica's here for class. I like it.
Carrie from Carlsbad, California.
Yes.
Elisa also. Yes, Krista from Indiana. That's always good. Love P thumping that bass. Show. Greg says, did you miss anything great? I think so. If you missed the intro with Prince playing bass for 2 minutes, yeah,
that was pretty great.
Yeah, Susan from Iowa, what's going on? Sean from Motor City. Look at your Detroit Lions. I see you.
Man, I was just up there. Hated it. It was so cold. The city, don't like the weather.
I used to live up there. I lived up there for a while. In my childhood, I lived in the projects of Detroit.
Yeah.
for real.
It
And it was
rough. It was rough.
I've come a long way from the projects of Detroit for sure.
I'm a long way, baby.
Susie from Canada, Jean from Chicago, Christina from Minneapolis. What's going on? Um, P Funk's already trying to start problems. P Funk was like, "What's the deal with the Prince facial up for auction?" Okay, I this is not even on the list. Uh, it's not even on the list. But if I wasn't made aware of what was going on, I probably would have missed it. But it was a big hoodoo that happened. Somebody had posted a uh, a little small baggie of what appeared to be hair, and they put a picture of Prince up on it, and it said, I just need to find it's I need to find the photo. But basically what it is, it was saying that it was Prince's facial hair in that bag, and they were trying to sell it, and it caused all kinds of craziness. And just so you know, it wasn't in any auctions that we know or have had on the show or anything like that. It was, but one of those people, well, I'll just go ahead and say it. Ben put it up on his auction site, not to sell it, but to say, "What is this?"
What is this?
And people started losing their minds, including screen capturing it and saying that Ben was the one that was selling it, and which caused a but. They screen captured it and made it look like it was Ben that was selling it. Ben was sharing it, and it got. I'm not going to name names, but there was multiple people in the purple circle who reached out to him directly and was like, "You need to take that down. I can't believe you're doing that." I was like, he wasn't doing that.
I'm sure it's like, what are you talking about?
Well, you know, Ben, he's very his
Uh,
his fuse is like about like that big.
yeah.
And so he's just one of those guys, you know. So
Hilarious.
anyways, it went south very quickly in like a crash and burn type of things. But yeah, that wasn't even that wasn't even on the list to talk about. But what? Anyways,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, that's just horrible though.
it is. It's horrible. It's yeah, yeah. Even we all knew it was a joke, you know, and yeah, because
Yeah.
and the main reason why was because this was all a it was all coming back around to Kim Berry is basically what it was coming back around to. Just like, is that Kim Berry selling that? Who was used to be Prince's hairdresser?
Oh man.
Who okay.
Yeah, we'll just okay.
I love purple drama because let me tell you that the purple drama is real.
Yeah.
It's real, dude.
People lose their minds. That all normal processing goes right out the window, and all of a sudden it just becomes this like. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna take off this reduce mic background noise check mark in our system here, mainly because whenever you talk, if I say anything or cough or anything over you, it cuts you off completely. And I want us to be able to talk at the same time or overlap. And I don't know what's causing that. I don't know if it's echo cancellation, so I'm going to cut that off. Let's just see if it works. Go ahead and say something.
Bananas.
I'm going to talk over you anyways.
Yeah, you can talk over me.
I'm going to talk to you. Okay, are we both there?
Sounds like we're both talking now.
I don't know. It just sounds like no, it doesn't.
Like I'm being dropped out.
When I see you talking, I'll just have to shut up.
Ramble. Oh, it's still doing it?
I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. I didn't know if you were like intentionally stopping talking while I was talking.
I was intentionally interrupting you.
Okay. So anyways, I cut that off. Let's see what happens. But yes, anyways, people thought that was real auction. It was not a real auction. It was just ridiculousness. And anyways, Ben obviously got very ticked off.
He got heated.
Yeah, it got heated because people were accusing him of doing something he wasn't doing. He was just like, "Hey, here's a funny joke," and then he ended up being the butt of it. So it didn't end up.
Yeah.
Henry missed your horn, so you got to do it again. Yeah. So we talk about like some of the passionate people that are out there right now. We've gotten to a point, and here's something that I wanted to thank you once again for all the supporters out there. For real, we have been growing leaps and bounds. It seemed like we were just talking like just not too long ago, where we were saying that we had just crossed 57,000. I think it was last show. So we were 57,000. Looks like I'm gonna have to turn this background things back on. 57,000, and we ended up crossing 58,000 already. So we're at 58,000. So we will be over 60,000, and it's already in the middle of 58,000. So we'll be over 60,000 followers on Facebook before the end of this month. So when I told you that my goal was to get to 100K before we got out of this year, and
hey,
it's
here we go.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and
I think it's awesome. I'll take it.
Well, I forgot the reason why I was saying that. The reason why I was saying that was because now every single time that I do a post, I have to check, double check, triple check, look at everything, look at all the details, anything that I may have said, anything that may have been a little bit weird or whatever. Yeah, it's anything that I may have said. And so it just gets kind of nuts. And so it's crazy because if I say one little thing that's in one little thing that's questioned, it's just they just go off on me. And so it's like, okay, I just have to do all kinds of things. Listen, I have to go out of order here today because we have a guest that's kind of dropped in, and I want to talk about this just for a second. I'm gonna have to move.
Let's do it.
We have a special guest that kind of came in. You may not know who he is, but where is it at? Hold on a second. Let me find out where it's at.
That's awesome.
Oh no, I know where it's at. Okay, I combined it with another thing. So yes, was it yesterday? I guess it was yesterday. I think. Yesterday.
All your troubles seem so far away.
Yes, we had a very, very special birthday for the one. It was the 60th birthday of the one and only Susan Moonsey. Now, I will put up a picture of Susan. There it is right there, Susan Moonsey. You knew her from Vanity 6. If you were aware of the hookers before Vanity, that's actually the hookers. That's actually what's her name? Jamie Shoup, Susan Moonsey, and then her Susan Moonsey's sister.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the Hookers, is what this band that Prince put together. And of course, we are celebrating her 60th birthday. And Lisa says, does Jeff have an echo? I don't think he has an echo.
Do I have an echo?
I don't think so. I don't hear anything.
Crap.
But anyways, so we were talking about this, and so it's really, really cool to have her, that's a big birthday. I mean, I hit 55 and I was like, wow, that's really huge. But I was like, man, I can't wait to meet at 60. It's going to be pretty cool. Well, I mean, I can't wait. I can definitely wait for sure. But, a lot of people don't know some of her history. And one of the things that people don't know, literally one of the things that people don't know about her is how many people, and I'll look at all these people, find people in the chat area here. How many of you people remember Timex Social Club? I'll give a few seconds to go by on this one. Timex Social Club, they had that big song Rumors back in the day. And there was a line that was in there. Did you hear one about Susan? She's 6 foot tall, camisole, she'll knock you to your knees. I remember the whole lyric. That lyric in Timex Social Club's Rumors was about Susan Moonsey. And everybody's like, that's not true because Susan was not 6 foot tall. And you know, they were just kind of going on and on. It was about this person. It was about that person. Well, I am here. I am here to put that rumor to rest because we have, as a special guest right now, the person who wrote the lyrics to that song, the one and only Marcus Thompson, is in the house. What's up, my man?
What is going on? Man, I feel like a vampire, like you guys talked me up or something. I was like dead in a crypt somewhere. And just you know, minding my business, being dead, and then I got the bat signal was in the air, and I had to come in and defend myself. So
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So we kind of need to talk. We need to talk a little bit about how to put an echo cancellation back on, because I'm not hearing it, but I guess other people are hearing an echo. Let's make sure, Jeff, can you make sure that your echo cancellation is on your settings?
Yeah, it is.
Settings, and it is? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think that was you causing it.
Was it? Okay, probably gone.
or was it me?
Is everybody
No,
the echo right now? I can't hear an echo, but let's make sure that your echo is on, because
I can't hear an echo.
You can't hear.
I was before, but now I'm good.
Okay,
no echo.
All right, cool. So all clear. Great.
Wait. Before we go, wait. Marcus, Mr. Thompson.
Yes, sir. Yes. Wow, Mr. Thompson.
Thank you. Thank you for that song. Thank you for
wow.
Thank you, because
yeah, you're welcome.
That was everything song.
Say what?
That was my roller skating song. That was my everything song. That was it, man. Thank you.
Oh.
And then Roaches came.
Well, yes, there were a lot of once we dropped that one, there were a lot of what they call parodies.
Yes.
That came behind that. I won't get into that. You guys can search that.
No.
Or whoever is interested. But yeah, there were a lot of parodies, and it was very surprising because, you know, every 2 weeks or something, I was hearing a different. I mean, there was a rap. You know, the one that you mentioned. Well, that was also a rap, but I mean, there was a rumors rap, and then there was Roaches, and then there was. Oh man, I've heard a Hispanic version of it too. Yeah, over the years, somebody did it, and it's all in Spanish, and I'm like, okay, I guess, because I don't know Spanish, so I'm like, okay, it's to our same, you know, like the instrumental track of Rumors. So blessings to everybody that felt the need to cover that song, and they're still covering it.
They're still covering it.
They're still covering it to this day.
Man, brilliance, man. A sign of brilliance.
So,
but yeah, Susan, I'm here to tell everybody that look, man, I'm African American. I wasn't thinking about Susan Anton. Okay. I may have knew who she was, but no, it was Susan from Vanity 6 that was in my brain. I was and always will remain a Prince fan. That's what was in my brain. That woman, Susan Moony, from Vanity 6 and Apollonia 6. But at the time I wrote it, I wrote Rumors. I wrote the lyrics for Rumors in 1983. That's another, you know. So the record actually was released in 86, but I wrote the lyrics in 83. So there was no Apollonia 6 at that time. There was only Vanity 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that when I bought that Vanity 6 album and took out the liner notes and saw you had the picture of the hookers up there. That predates me. I was only on the Vanity 6 version, but yeah, the original Vanity 6 album, and then of course later the one with her holding that teddy bear, the Apollonia 6. But yeah, that woman right there was the inspiration for Did You Hear That One About Susan? And it should have been, I thought it should have been a dead giveaway because I dropped the word camisole. I mean, what? But anyway, it wasn't. So, yeah, I'm just here to clear that up so everybody could know it is not and was never Susan Anton.
Well, I think what may have thrown people off may have
No,
been
it's a 6 feet tall.
it's what may have thrown people off was the 6 feet tall. Yeah. But as I had mentioned in the listing here, what I said was 6 feet tall is a lot easier to say lyrically and syllabically.
Yes.
5 foot.
Exactly. Right. Because it doesn't rhyme into the cadence of the song. You can't fit all that in. And then you're like, huh? No, you're dancing. You're trying to, the words have to flow, right? The words have to flow to your feet, to your ears. It's all a feeling. So 6 feet tall sounded right. When I sang the demo, it sounded right. It fit right on paper when I wrote the words and typed the words out on my typewriter. So yeah, man, that's what was that's who it's about.
So
100%.
All right, so let's talk about.
And this is the hand that wrote the lyrics.
There you go. And that's why I wanted you on. That's why I wanted you on. I wanted you on to put this, because people were like, "Oh, that's not true. That's about Susan Anton or Susan so and so." And I was like, "No." That's the reason I reached out to you. I said, "We're going to talk about her birthday, but I need you to put it right here on the show."
Oh.
Yeah, because for years, I think I was telling somebody for years, I've been trying to clear that up, and it was put out there by some journalists who just didn't want to, go the extra mile and find out the real deal. I was certainly not hard to reach at that time. We were getting interviews from lots of publications and radio stations at that time. Really, I don't want to say, we had an 800 number or nothing like that, but we weren't hard to find or locate for the correct information. But that person, whoever it was, and I think I used to know, but it's been so long. But right. Because once that is out there, people run with it, and it just sticks in their brain. And then, it comes up in conversation every now and again, and they go, "Oh yeah, Susan Anton." And then I feel like I gotta spend hours on the internet trying to correct this stuff. But I'll never be able to touch everybody who heard that or read that. So, but yeah, if you're listening now, please spread. I won't say spread this rumor, because it's not a rumor; it's a fact. That it's about Susan Moonsey from Vanity 6 and Apollonia 6. And I would like to add this. Tina.
I was just going to ask this.
The song is not Tina Turner.
Yeah, so let's
not Tina Turner at all.
Let's talk about this block. Let's talk about this specific block of lyrics here.
Oh, that verse. That confusing third verse.
Yeah, let's open this up.
Did you hear that one about Tina? Did you hear the one about Tina? Some say she's much too loose. That came straight from a guy who claims he tasted her juice. What Tina are we talking about with this song?
I'm not going to drop her last name, but I was a girl that went to my high school.
Ooh, God bless America. There you go.
It's just called rumors, man. So, I mean, that's what I was hearing in the hallway.
Good enough.
Straight up.
And
no chasing.
And then there's Michael. You hear the one about Michael? Some say he must be
That's
gay.
About Michael Jackson. Yes, it is confirmed. That's about Michael Joseph Jackson. And y'all know him. Mr. Billie Jean.
That one seemed obvious to me.
And I've never talked to him. And nobody's ever asked me to clear that one up, because I think everybody gets that.
That one seemed obvious to me. That one was just like, that seems obvious to me.
Yeah. So Tina was a classmate. Michael is Michael Jackson. And then Susan is Susan Moonsey of Vanity 6 and Apollonia 6.
Nice.
That's it.
All right,
Yep. Oh, and if they want to know more about it, the book is out.
Yes.
Shameless plug. How the Rumors Get Started, the true story of Timex Social Club. It's available on Amazon and a bunch of different retailers. And if you don't want to read, fine. Get yourself the audio book, right? Pop that into your car CD player for your old heads out there. But it's on Audible. So you don't have to get the CD. You can stream it.
There you go.
And then you'll know the whole story.
I love it. Marcus, when we get an opportunity, we need to get you on. We need to get you back on the show so we can talk all things Timex Social Club and
oh man. Okay,
career.
I would love it. They can reach out at timexsocialclub.com or Timex Social Club on Twitter, X. There's a fan page also on Facebook and IG. It's Timex Social Club _official.
And thank you so much for being an avid Funkatopian and actually following through and actually contributing to that conversation.
Oh man, my pleasure. My pleasure. And like I said, I had to rise from the crypt and come out of here, man. Fly through and try to help clear all this up because I thought it would be obvious, but it was a little muddy out there. It still is. So yeah,
well, it's clear now.
My pleasure.
Need it down right here.
Thanks for having me.
All right,
Thank you, man.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks for having me, and keep funky.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
All right. Okay, then.
All right, that was Marcus Thompson. I wanted to make that was a surprise. See, every now and then I like to surprise you guys. Just like I'm not even going to tell Jeff this is happening.
My life is complete now. That's very awesome. I love it.
You go from not doing not even planning a show whatsoever to special guest and
to breaking news. You heard it here first. That's what that is.
Well, and I'm going to be honest. Until that conversation came up, I'll just be honest. Until that conversation came up with it being her birthday, and then someone said, "Oh, that song Rumors that Susan is about her," and I was like, "Really?" And I was like, "That seems kind of far fetched." Only because of the fact that Susan Moonsey wasn't really well known. I mean, a lot of people knew Vanity 6 and knew Apollonia 6, but a lot of people did not know her name specifically. So for her to get the call out like that on that, and I don't even know if she actually knew, maybe she did know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then Marcus, who I've seen in and out of Funkatopia, came in and was like, "Yep, that's true. I wrote the song." So I can verify. I was like, oh my God.
Okay.
I was like, all right, okay. Well, let's get you on the show so you can verify live right here. That is
That's
it is,
perfect. I like it.
That's awesome. So that was a lot of fun. We just got to do that.
We just got to do that.
That's the
I don't know
best.
what anybody else is thinking, but I'm satisfied. Good night, everybody.
All right. So, as I said, this was supposed to be the pre-show, but we've just kind of gone right into it. We just went totally this way.
It was right on time, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of fun. I mean, that's what we're here for, is to have fun and to hang out with you guys and make sure that you guys learn something new every single time that you come onto the show. Yeah.
At least half of something.
Maisha said, "Can anyone speak on Susan Moonsey's and her son's restaurant? It is no longer in business. And the only reason why I know that is because of the fact that I asked if this came up a couple years ago on her birthday when I mentioned it was her 58th birthday, whatever it was.
Mhm.
And I said, "Oh, I wonder if that restaurant is still around." And somebody said, "No, I went down there. It's closed." And I looked it up and it is closed. So it's no longer there anymore. So there's that, so they opened during, I think you're right. Maisha said they opened during 2020. They opened during the pandemic, and that was just not a good time to open up. That was not a good time to open up anything. Of course, you didn't see it coming. Even if you said, all right, January 1st, 2020, we're going for it.
Yeah, and the rest of the world
That's
said,
the worst possible time.
yeah.
Sybil says, I'm lost. Which song is about Susan Moonsey? It's the song Rumors by Timex Social Club. Or the lyric, did you hear the one about Susan? Some say she's just a tease and a camisole. She's 6 foot tall. She'll knock you to your knees. Rumors. Look at all these rumors. That song.
Love it.
That song. That Susan is Susan Moonsey. Very cool. I feel like I'm satisfied. I'm ready to go. Let's go. See you. Good night.
Good night. Thanks for coming.
So anyways, yeah. So that was, when he was,
no, we need something good.
When he was talking about how many different, oh, you got something good coming up. All right, go ahead.
I'll
sit back. I'll wait.
Sorry, go ahead.
You ready? Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Was it? Oh, when he was talking about how there was all those different versions of the song when it came out. Another one that frustrated me to no end.
Roxanne,
because there was so many different. Well, but whoop, there it is. There were so many different versions of that song by so many conflicting artists that claimed that was their song, and there was like you would go to the record store and there would be like 6 different versions of that song, and you were like, I just want the one that I heard on the radio, and I don't know which one it is.
Yeah.
So, but anyways,
well, they went crazy with Roxanne.
Oh yeah,
versions of that was just like, oh my gosh,
Roxanne's Revenge.
Like somebody said earlier, that's what they did at that time. A song was really good. They made versions and parodies of it. Some of it was fun. Some of it was really funny, and after a while, it was like, oh, okay,
right. It's just, it is what it is. I tell you what song they've never remade, and for a good reason, and that is this one right here. Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad, which I might add celebrates its 44th anniversary of that single release today. That song was released 44 years ago.
That's amazing. I wasn't even born then.
Shut up. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. I know it's true. And when it was released, it had Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad, and then Baby was on the other side, which was from For You.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but in New Zealand, the flip side of that was Bambi. I think that would have been I think they should have released it that way in the States. Right. Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad on one side and Bambi on the other?
Man,
just shut down the store shut it down. What's the point? I mean, it's freaking ridiculous.
Such a great song too, man.
It is. It's an amazing song. So as I mentioned, there's lots of cool stuff to go do and see. And one of the things that I had talked about was music festivals that are coming in town. So we're going to kind of get off of the Prince just for a second here, because there's a few items that I want to talk about that are not Prince related. And then we'll get right back into the Prince stuff and just kind of continue down. But the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival is out of friggin' control. I mean, this lineup doesn't make sense to me. It takes place over 2 weekends. It says April 25th through April 25th through May 5th, which is, it's coming up. But when you look at it from a ticket perspective, tickets. Okay, for those who are listening on audio, we actually have, if you're listening on the Funked Up app, we actually have a graphic up that is showing the lineup for New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival. Again, that's happening April 25th through May 5th. It's happening on 2 separate weekends. You can get a ticket that allows you to come both weekends, or you can get one for either weekend. Mm-hmm. The lineups on them, vary from weekend to weekend, but the second week is obviously the one that's more the heavy hitters. But to kind of give you an idea for the audio folks that are listening, Foo Fighters, Chris Stapleton, Neil Young's Crazy Horse, The Killers, Anderson .Paak, Hozier, no offense to Hozier, but John Batiste, Queen Latifah, Vampire Weekend, Greta Van Fleet, Heart, Widespread Panic, Trombone Shorty, and Orleans Avenue, Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm just going to skip over and name some of the ones that are obviously going to be of interest to Funkatopia folks. Earth, Wind, and Fire, Jimmy Buffett. I know some Jimmy Buffett fans out there. Fantasia, Cam is in there. Big Free is on there. Joe Bonamassa, who many of you, he's a blues guy, but many of you like him through his funk stuff because he actually does a funk thing with Renato Neto called Rock. What is it? Rock Candy Funk Party, I think is what it's called. Right. And it's like friggin' amazing. Cyril Neville's on there. George Thorogood and Destroyers, which somehow they're still alive. Galactic, the Wallflowers. I mean, Dumpster Funk. Again, I'm skipping over here. Stephen Marley. It's just insane. Dirty Dozen Brass Band. Tower of Power. How does Tower of Power have small print on this? George Porter Jr., Robert Cray, Patrice Russian's in here. Rebirth Brass Band. I mean, there are so many people that are in this list. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just Chawa, who's 2 times in a row has been on that the best funk list.
And for the people that are listening, the crazy thing is you're just skimming the list. You're skipping over.
I'm skipping over a bunch.
You're not even naming everyone on the list. That's how deep this thing goes.
I mean, yeah, I skipped. I mean, some big names that I've skipped over were like Soul Rebels, skipped over Nickel Creek, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. I mean, I've skipped over tons. It's just insane. It's a lot. Now here's what's crazy about this is that I looked over the tickets to see how much they were. Yeah, the tickets run about $300. Well,
the regular tickets, general,
yeah, general admission like for a weekend. I don't have like the things in front of me. They are, Maisa says, are they signed or invited? Yes, they are all signed. They're all going to be there. Oh, the Rolling Stones is right at the top too, by the way. I skipped over that. Anyways, it's crazy to me that even if you went super high level, going both weekends and need to catch every single one of these friggin' bands, it's like half the cost of what it costs for Celebration. Now, keep in mind that at Paisley Park, they can only fit however many people they can fit in there for a certain period of time. But if they could figure out some way to not make it so Paisley Parkish and make it massive and be able to invite like a huge amount of people and be able to get like really big acts and then be able to kind of spread it out a little bit, man, it's pretty crazy. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
It's a lot. It's awesome.
But, you know, obviously if you want a very, very Prince-centric thing, there's nothing better than the Celebration. So this is all there is to it. However, you want to talk a little bit about this next one, which is the Las Vegas Music Festival. I'll actually pull.
So the Las Vegas, it's another one, music festival, the Lovers and Friends Festival that also has a crazy lineup of people. So
makes no sense.
I mean, obviously we've got Gwen Stefani. For those, again, this is for the people who aren't able to. Janet Jackson,
yeah.
Backstreet Boys, like that's the top of their thing. Those are the headliners, by the way.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, and then you've got Lil Wayne's gonna be there, Mary J. Blige, Ludacris, Nelly,
Nas,
Sierra,
TLC,
Timbaland. I mean, I just don't want to sit here and just read names, but you know, go online, look these things up. It's a huge list of people, and it's just like going to be another in May.
Yeah, if you want to look that one up, it's at loversandfriendsfest.com, which, by the way, let's take this down. Let me actually share that tab. Whoops, get wrong. Let me actually share that tab because we can actually look to see exactly how much tickets are. The
Yeah,
pre-sale,
week. And tickets there are
yeah, general admissions is
interesting.
$325.
Yeah, for general.
Yep. GA Plus is basically you get to see everything, but you also get specific food choices, bar, concession, festival. I mean, I don't. Doesn't seem like air conditioned restrooms, dedicated entry, and I don't know that's worth.
The VIP is awesome.
What's the VIP? VIP $695. What is that? What does that all get? Charging stations for your phone. Preferred viewing area by main stage. And then of course it's just all kinds of stuff. There's I mean,
Go to the top. There's something they said at the beginning. I don't
yeah,
know. Maybe I missed it.
it's a pre-sale.
That cracks me up. The advertising. All tickets start at $19.99 down.
Down.
So, because they know most people don't read, they skim and they're going to be like, oh, $19.99. I'm going to get my tickets.
I can do that.
It's $19.99 down. And then $300.
I'll figure out the other part later.
That's right.
That's for the young folks out there. Yeah, those shows are fantastic. I love festival shows. I used to love back in the 90s, Music Midtown in the 90s here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Music Midtown back in the 90s was it was so friggin' cool. Now, obviously it's still cool, but the acts are like not really most of the acts have no interest in now at all. So I guess that was part of it. And, but in the late 80s and even going into the early 90s, here in Atlanta, we had the Jack the Rapper convention, which was amazing. It was a big hip hop convention. Prince actually came and played for that one too.
Major.
And then you had all the satellite shows that would happen during Freaknik. You would have, there was so much going on in this city. And what was the other one there was another music festival that happened in multiple locations. It's right on the tip of my tongue. It was a local music festival, but they had big acts that they would bring into. I'm trying to remember the name of that one. You should know it's very, very similar to the kind of thing that you do, but this one was like here in Atlanta. Oh, I just had it. I'll think about it. Atlantis Music Festival. I want to say it was Atlantis, but there was another one too. But anyways, they've had tons of music festivals here in Atlanta, and I love the fact that Atlanta is like the hot spot of. It was just it's just real.
Yeah.
And, oh yeah. The Cool Jazz Festival was always fantastic too, and there's so many things. It's just
yeah.
Yeah, Freaknik was awesome, but Freaknik was more about the hangout, not really about shows. The shows just kind of happened as a result of because people knew bands and artists knew that people were going to be in town and wanted to be clubbing, so they would strategically. It's kind of like what happens during the Celebration in Minneapolis. People know that there's going to be a bunch of Prince fans in there, and if you're any band that's even remotely funk oriented or can play some Prince songs, you want to make sure that you're playing that weekend somewhere in Minneapolis because all those thousands of people are going to be out and about trying to find some place to go. So you just want to make sure that you're at a venue. So, yeah. Yes, Brian, Freaknik is a whole different conversation. Yes, it was. I found myself in very precarious positions during Freaknik that I'm glad I'm here talking to you folks.
Some people
not like not like that. But in situations that a white boy shouldn't be in. It's like, let's get home. It's
I remember you now.
Oh yeah, I remember you. You're the troublemaker. Yeah.
You were the one talking.
Yeah, that's me all the time. Speaking of which, since we're talking about hip hop a little bit, Andre 3000 is going to be performing his brand new album, New Blue Sun, where he's playing the flute or whatever that thing is. It's a flute, right?
Isn't that tonight?
I think there is a bunch of different dates. it's in theaters.
Yeah, the IMAX thing.
Yes, it's in theaters, but there's also some dates here also that I guess are happening here. Because there's some shows here in Brooklyn, New York, Detroit, Chicago, San Francisco, a couple shows here in Atlanta, and then closing it all up in Los Angeles. And I think that these dates here are live shows, but there is a theater show that's happening tonight that Francesca told me about.
Oh, okay.
This is yeah. So I guess there is a theater performance that is happening, and then I'll obviously want to actually physically see it live.
Yeah.
You
I
can.
think it was what I saw was it was a album listening and conversation. So he wasn't performing anything or anything, but no, but that's kind of dope.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I still have not listened to that album yet. It's what?
Yeah, you should check it out when you're ready for your Zen moment. No, I mean, I'm not.
I'm always ready for a Zen moment.
It's pretty decent listen. If you didn't know it was him, you'd be like, hey, this is interesting. I think it's a great first effort. I can't wait to see the freshman and sophomore releases. Because he'll step it up. He will. He has to.
All right. Well, I'm down. I'm down. I will next when I'm working. This probably seems like a working thing. Like this needs to be kind of chilling in the background type of thing, or do I need to be in a type of mindset,
or when you're sitting back and just like sipping that scotch or whatever you sit back and drink, brandy, I don't know, whatever anybody drinks. That's not a bad glass of wine if you're a wine drinker. Sit back and check it out. No alcohol.
Great. I used to get transcendental music. Yeah, I believe it. That sounds right. All right. So I asked a question that I knew was I wanted to ask a question that was going to engage people. And I was thinking to myself, I'm going to pick 2 Prince albums that are iconic albums that are like what some people would consider his best albums ever. And I'm going to do a versus just to kind of see what would happen. And so I was like, all right, let's start with Sign of the Times. I was like, oh, well, the problem with Sign of the Times is it's a double album. So let me think about the other double albums. And I thought about Emancipation. I was like, well, that's a triple album. And Crystal Ball was also a triple album.
Yeah.
Seems like a good versus might be Crystal Ball versus Emancipation. But Crystal Ball is more of a collection of songs, whereas Emancipation, it was kind of a little bit thematic for him. I don't know. That may be the next verses. But the verses that I went with was Sign of the Times versus 1999. Because both of which are double albums, both are, which many consider legendary. Now, I love both of these friggin' albums. Yep. Without a doubt, I love both of these albums. Matter of fact, 2 of my all-time favorite songs are on Sign of the Times, which are If I Was Your Girlfriend and Ballad of Dorothy Parker, which just structurally, I just think are just some of the most perfect songs friggin' ever written. But when I cast my vote was for 1999. And the reason why is just not only because of the fact that and I want to make sure I don't miss anything here. Not only because of the fact that it holds a very special place as far as being the first concert that I ever saw of Prince was a 1999 tour. So that kind of had a special place. But all of the songs that are on this album are it's just banger after banger. Let's Pretend We're Married, Something in the Water, DMSR, Automatic, Lady Cab Driver, All the Critics Love You. I mean, it's just like this album is just
Yeah.
packed full of these funk bangers. And it's not, when you think of like the a level of production and the level of intricacy in the songs and everything, Sign of the Times wins hands down because his
Absolutely.
his production was just on some other friggin' level when he got there. And on top of that, he had so much that was going on with himself and the decisions that he made about revolution and okay, I'm just screw it. I'm starting from scratch type of thing. Um, it was just, yeah, I mean, he was next level in Sign of the Times. Absolutely. But just for all the songs that I've mentioned, not including even the title track, 1999, I mean, it's really, really tough to even pick a weak song in this album. Because even when I said, all right, let's pick a weak song. All right. I'm talking about 1999.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about Delirious. And but even if I'm honest with myself, when Delirious was all over the radio back in the day, I love that song.
Yeah.
It was great.
Right.
And so it's just a banger from beginning to end. It's just ridiculous. It just doesn't. Yeah, and so that was my vote. But everybody was like hardcore. No, it's Sign of the Times, and I was just like, certainly, it's got to be more. It's got to be more even keeled than that. But I went ahead and put it on Twitter. Now, obviously, we don't have a lot of engagement on Twitter as much as we do on Facebook. But I put it on Twitter because it gave me the capability to actually run a poll. You can't run a poll on Facebook on a page. You have to do it in a group. And then once again, you don't have the full picture. So anyway, so I put it up there and this was the last result here where I just pulled it up. What was it? Well, that says that's not even. Yeah, see, I don't even have. I think the results are still there, but it's still 77% Sign of the Times and 22% 1999 is what the latest poll was. And I just was like, I just don't understand because to me, I kind of feel like it's got to be way closer than that. It just has to be way closer than that.
Right.
So I think that if the poll was put onto Facebook, where we have 58,000 people, were could blow it up, I think it would be a lot closer. I don't know.
Yeah, and then the flip side of that is what group of people are on the Twitter side versus the Facebook side and whatever, because that matters too. Demographics, man. It's a matter of who's listening, because where were you for each one? I personally, I agree with what you're saying. Like, Sign of the Times is hands down, production wise, is murder. Is just wow.
Yeah, across the board.
But as far as complete total flow, I think 1999 does it. I think 1999, between the two as a complete album, I would give it to 1999. Now, if we were comparing singles and doing that kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like, there's all kinds of battles in that album, those two albums just alone. But yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Because I remember I loved Dirty Mind. And when Controversy came out, I was like, holy I mean, how is he going to top Controversy? I was just like, dude, I love the direction that he's going, but it's like, and then when 1999 hit, it was like, where do you go from here? And then of course Purple Rain happened. But it was just 1999 was, again, all those friggin' songs that were on 1999 is just insane.
Yeah.
I love 1999.
Sign of the Times has something about it that feels more grown up also, or like
artsy.
Yeah, what I mean? Like, it some of that edge that you had in 1999 and prior, is just, it's smoothed over and polished.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now you're like, there's the pearl, you know? But that's so yeah, it's all sweet and it's like you know, it's
1999 was just raw. It was just raw, just it was just that raw. I mean, because the intricacy of even the instrumentation, there wasn't like a bunch of orchestration. It wasn't anything like that. It was just this.
punch
It
you
was
in the face. Let's get funky.
it was really just body slamming you in the face with beats and in these funk riffs that were just what is it with Lady Cab Driver? There's this one part in Lady Cab Driver towards the end where it's breaking and it makes this elephant noise that's in the background. It's, it's like every time I hear it coming up, I'm like, oh, turn this up. This is awesome. I love this. He just used these sound effects to make everything just kind of just come to life. Even, I mean, Lady Cab Driver in itself is I mean, it's not one of the songs you can like blast because, when he gets to the end of the song and he's doing what he's doing, the Lady Cab Driver.
Up to that point.
Yeah, you kind of like, it's just like, wow, this is just
like fade.
It has these perfect friggin' funk pockets that is just unrivaled. Again, there's nothing against Sign of the Times. Sign of the Times has some amazing tracks on it. Some of my favorite songs are on there. I mean, again, if I was your girlfriend, unfriggin' real. It's gonna be a beautiful night. What a great friggin' live track. I just
Cross. I'm sorry, the Cross is such a great song to play.
And the story behind the Cross is friggin' awesome too. Not lyrically, but the story that Susan Rogers told about how, when he was putting the foundation for the Cross down, she was like, I don't understand why he doesn't have a metronome going. He is building up and building up and building up and building up, and he's not, as he's layering on instruments. I don't understand how he's going to be able to match this and match the rhythm that he's taking and also the intensity that he's doing. And he did it. It was just like pop, 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 pop. And so, yeah, oops. Jeff is gone. Jeff dropped off. But yeah, so Jeff will come back on. I don't know where he went. He just disappeared. But yeah, that was my vote. 1999, absolutely positively 100% was my vote. Just because of the way that album just breathed. It was just this hey, welcome back, brother.
I am the Rodney Dangerfield of technology this year. Like, no respect. Everything's breaking. I didn't even do anything.
Yeah, well, it was something. I don't know. Are you there? Go ahead.
Internet.
There's wait a second. Let me see something here. Hold on a second.
I got gremlins. Got gremlins in my basement.
But yeah, I mean, it and the passion in 1999, the passion that he, and you also got a lot of the character. Not that he didn't have character like every single album, but some of his characters that come through, like, bitch, you think you're special? So do I.
So do I.
Love that.
First time I heard that, I was like, what?
Just stop. Just stop, man. Oh my God.
I don't care what it is. Yes. Yeah.
And even that build up, that thing that he does where he's like hollering and then it just and he takes it from like a growl up to that scream, and it's not like he just takes it from bottom all the way up to the top, and it's just they just don't make things like that. That rawness is just not. It's just.
Hey, I need to tell Andrew, man. I need to tell him stay out of my mail. Just stay in my mailbox, man. You don't know me.
Yeah. So 1999 was my vote for sure. It's not, again, I love Sign of the Times. It's a fantastic album, But 1999, just there's nothing that breathes and is more raw and more funk than 1999. It is the most consistently funk album that Prince had, hands down.
Yeah.
You can look at every single album across, even considering controversy and everything else. If you really look at the songs that are on the album, the songs that are on all those albums, there's always like a handful that are like, I don't know what this is. You know?
It takes a minute to grow on you, and then it does.
Yeah, it's like, you know, even with controversy. I mean, even with controversy, you had controversy, you had sexuality, and then all of a sudden they were doing, you know, weird things. He was doing that punk thing with the Ronnie Talk to Russia and Jack You Off and things. It was like, this, where are we going? You know, it's just, there's always those types of songs, is what I'm saying, that are always kind of woven into the albums. But 1999, it's just like pop, 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 pop.
Yes.
Just, oh man. Anyways, love it. It's just fantastic.
As do I.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. For those that missed it, I think it was on last night. I think America's Got Talent. Was that last night? I think it was last night. And it was not last night. It was the night before last, but I want to say it was last night. But there was a group on there called Sainted. And what's really, really cool, if you go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Funkatopia, and I put the link there to a video that Heidi Klum shared where it is this group, and I guess they had been on before, and they called Sainted, and they had been on before and they had been kicked off, or they lost. And so they came back in and they are just hammered it. I mean, they were trying to figure out, you know, what was going to take them to the next level. And I think what's different with this season of America's Got Talent is that each one of the judges can actually take an act under their wing. I haven't watched America's Got Talent at all, but it looked like Simon Cowell, this group was under Simon Cowell's umbrella. And so they basically, you know, he was like, all right, I need to find the perfect song for you guys. Mm-hmm. And he said, and there was only one answer, and it was my favorite song of all time, Purple Rain. And first off, right off the gate, I was like, wow, that's really cool of Simon Cowell to say. But he was also talking about, he gave Prince major props, talking about there will never be another artist like Prince, period, end of story. And I was like, wow, that's pretty powerful for somebody like Simon Cowell to say, who, you know, it's just, it was pretty amazing. But anyway, so the story goes is that all the producers, there's a whole story that kind of goes into that clip that's playing on Facebook. I would play it, but I don't want to get hit with copyright strikes here. Right. So essentially what happened was they wanted to do Purple Rain, but the producers were coming in and saying, you're not going to get Purple Rain. They never clear Purple Rain. You're just not going to get Purple Rain. It's not going to clear. You're not affiliated with the estate. It's not going to clear. It's not going to clear. And Simon Cowell was like, I'm going to figure out a way to make this clear. So long story short, obviously, as you can see from the performance here with the Prince symbol on both sides of the stage, that they were able to get that clearance. Mm-hmm. And what's really, really cool. So I can't say it enough, that I have to give a shout out to whoever the powers that be that made it happen. Now, I know I gave a shout out to Londell and Charles and the group, but I believe that the ones that are responsible for the licensing part of it is the primary wave, the primary OAT, which is Primary Wave. Which primary OAT is what Omar and Taika. Anyways, it's now Primary Wave because they sold their rights over to Primary Wave. So now that segment is Primary Wave. So I think Primary Wave, because of the fact they oversee the music, they were the ones that kind of would give the licensing and the rights. But for all I know, it could have been Lundell and Charles had their involvement in it. Whoever it was, and Simon Cowell's was relentless. You can see it in the video. He was relentless in making sure that they got the clearance for this. This performance of Purple Rain is unreal. The way that it flowed, that was very it was
the blends, the blending of their vocals throughout every part was so, I don't know, like smooth, gentle. Like it was just everything about it was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it
Like
was ridiculous.
it
So,
really was.
and on top of that, there wasn't, a lot of it, there wasn't any much instrumentation. It was just them vocally doing it, and they kind of started off a really kind of soft, really different structure. They structured the song differently. But it was, you got to check it out. Go to facebook.com/Funkatopia, scroll down, and go to the link. There's a link there to the video that kind of does the story of everything that this group went through and the process of getting this song cleared, and then the performance. And then there was something very, very special that happened at the end. I won't blow it for you, but you need to check it out. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, check out the video. It's a worthwhile watch.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, and congratulations to Sainted, because that's pretty, it's pretty freaking awesome. That because the amount of work that those folks did is just, and the vocals will just give you chills. I mean, just goosebumps across the board. It's crazy. So another anniversary. The anniversary of this album right here, Madhouse 8.
Yes.
What I find so interesting about this is a 37th anniversary of Madhouse 8. And I was shocked, actually, because somehow I managed to have held on to this friggin' album all these years, and it's still in pretty great condition. There's some, there's a little bit of, wear and tear, as albums will have. I don't remember if there ever was an insert, but it's just cellophane and everything. But this album right here, Madhouse 8, celebrated its 37th anniversary. 37 years. And a lot of people, what I was surprised about is that I named it, and I brought attention to it. And one of the things that, again, this is one of these people get wacky. This was Prince's first instrumental album that he released, was Madhouse 8. And I had people just losing their minds when I said that. That's not true. He had 94 East and Minneapolis Genius. Well, first off, 94 East is Minneapolis Genius. It was Pepe Willie's project, not Prince's. Prince just played on it.
Right.
And when Prince gained notoriety, then it got changed over, and Pepe will tell you this, he's been on the show, that it became Minneapolis Genius because they wanted to sell it to kind of, push it a little bit. And Prince obviously wasn't, too thrilled about it. And, so it was like, well, you forgot about 94 East. And it was like, okay, well, and then of course somebody else said it again. And then I said, 94 East is Pepe's project. It wasn't, Prince was on it, but it wasn't his project. And was like, I'm not talking about 94 East. I'm talking about the Loring Park sessions. I was like, the Loring Park sessions was this kind of like a jam session type of thing that was him and Chris Moon. And I mean, Chris Moon was, doing some songs, and they just recorded stuff, but it wasn't, it was just a session. It wasn't released as a project. It wasn't a released album. And technically it was unreleased. It's been leaked out, but it's unreleased. Would you guys stop this ridiculousness? This was Prince's first freaking instrumental album. Leave it friggin' alone.
Wow.
It's like, I'm like literally being attacked regularly on this whole thing. It's like, wow. All right. So here is what's interesting about this too. There's a couple things that I personally, didn't learn until, I don't know, probably. Here's what I'll first say. When this album came out, I didn't realize that it was Prince, because first, I saw this in the record store. I saw it there, but it doesn't say this is Prince playing on this. It didn't have any stickers saying featuring Prince, and there was nothing like that. You knew that it was released from his studio. You knew that They made it. What was they said it was recorded live at Madhouse Studios in Philadelphia. I think it was Philadelphia, which led people to believe that it was an Eric Leeds project. But this album is completely 100% just Prince and Eric Leeds. And here's a couple other things. And I did not know that because there is no indicators on this album who's playing. None.
Right.
It didn't say Prince was playing anything, didn't say Eric was playing it, there's nothing. It's just Prince and Eric Leeds. Prince plays all the instrumentation, everything except for the horns and flute, which was Eric Leeds. Everything, this is Prince, basically. I thought, and I believed for decades, specifically because of Seven, the song Seven.
Mm-hmm.
I firmly believed, without a doubt, that Seven was Sheila E. The style of drumming that's on Seven sounds just like it sounds just like Sheila's playing. So I'll play it because I don't think we're going to have any problems with this one because I'm pretty sure this is not in the mix because they haven't done anything, but we'll see. Here is, just so for those who don't remember Seven. Oh, here's the other shocking thing. Many people didn't even know about this album. When I posted about this, people were like, wow, I didn't even know about this. I think I saw a couple of people referencing on here. It was just like, what's that? But check this out. So if you listen to the drums, it sounds just like Sheila E.'s style of drumming. That's it. It just sounds just like it. Check this out. Do this first. That style. What's the Here we go. Part right here. Just like. I mean, all that being said, it sounds just like freaking Sheila playing. It has that same tone that she used to tone her snare, that everything about it. And I thought for years, that's Sheila. And then come to find out, I mean, even after talking to Dwayne Tudall and it was just like, no, it's not Sheila, it's Prince. I was like, I can't get around the fact that was Prince playing like that. Not that because that's the other thing too, is I've never really seen him play drums. I've seen clips of him playing drums, but never like that, you know?
Right.
Everything that I've ever heard him play has been pretty straightforward. It's not, I mean, great stuff, but I've never really heard him play like that. And that's the really reason why my mind got stuck. That's Sheila. But
it definitely has Sheila-esque all over it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, all that being said, happy 37th anniversary to Madhouse 8. What a great friggin' album. And I see everybody's talking about the towel. What towel are we talking about here?
Under her knees.
Yeah, I know there's a towel under her knees, but I guess there's a towel under her knees. Is there something different than and that's Monica Leitner, who is actually active on Facebook, that she's the artist, the model. Is it Monica or Monica? It's M-A-N and the E with the fancy Leitner. But anyways, congratulations. 37 years. That's a long freaking time. It's a long time. Also, another celebration of sorts is belated happy birthday to the one and only Eric Leeds. He turned 72, so you got to give props to
yes, sir.
Eric Leeds, because I mean, Eric's been on the show.
A few times.
Yeah, he's been on the show like 3 or 4 times. He's been on the show, and every single time was just like a wealth of information. He's just, it's amazing. He's just,
Very,
and on top of
very,
that, huh?
he's very, very candid and open about his ties and relationships and feelings about it all and everything he's done. He's awesome to talk to. Really is.
Yeah, he's pretty. There you go. My user says air horn for the birthday boy. What did he say? Making AARP cool, Mr. Eric Leeds. Excuse me, I'm a member of AARP. That's how I got my friggin' Rolling Stones tickets early. So a Rolling Stone ticket. I'm going by myself. It's like, I don't want to be with anybody. I just want to just chill, just take it in. If it goes horribly wrong, I want to leave. So
It won't.
right. Also, another big happy birthday to the one and only Ingrid Chavez. She also, this is again, this was birthday was yesterday, I think it was.
Mhm.
She turned 59. And Ingrid actually, she's got, I was re-listening to the interview with her that I did like 6 years ago. And she was telling me the story about how she met Prince. And obviously most people only know her from Graffiti Bridge.
Right.
And it was interesting. She was talking about how she met Prince, and you know, a lot of people may or may not know this also, but she's a very, very heavy spiritual person. And that was such a, it had such an impact on Prince that when he met her, she had such an impact on him that he canceled the Black Album. And instead, and the Black Album had already been done, had already been pressed, was already ready to go, was even being shipped out to the record stores and everything, and was about, you know, there was some that already went early or whatever. But and then he decided to do Love Sexy instead. She was the reasoning for this. She was the reasoning for all that madness. And one of the questions that I asked her on that interview was, you know, what did you think when you realized, you know, did he ever divulge to you that, you know, you were the reason why, you know, spirit, it wasn't her specifically, it was the messages and the spirituality lessons and stuff that she taught him, that because he was in a really, really dark place at the time, which was the core of what the Black Album's foundation was, you know, and then because it was such a dark time for him, that's why kind of Black Album came out. And then she kind of brought this light in, and then he said, don't buy the Black Album. The Black Album's evil. And then it became Spooky Electric was the reasoning that the Black Album happened. And that's the reason why Spooky Electric came into the Love Sexy theme and whatever. But it's really interesting to kind of see some of the progression of everything that happened with, I don't know. It's pretty unusual. And she is just, I love the stories that she told. She said that she met Prince in a pub. It was more of a bar, and it was called Williams Pub, and he was sitting by himself, not by himself, but he was kind of with his little group entourage, and he just looked really, really lonely. And she wrote a note on a napkin that said, hi, remember me? Probably not, because we've never met. Smile. I love it when you smile. And that's what she wrote on a napkin and sent it over to him. And then he brought her over, and they were kind of chit-chatting, and he was like, what's your name? And she said, my name is Gertrude. And she said, what's your name? And he said, my name is Dexter. So for a long time, they referred to themselves as Gertrude and Dexter. And that kind of went on. She even said that I don't even remember ever calling him Prince. I always just called him Dexter. So she has like it's like a long storied history with Prince. I mean, you don't see her a lot other than outside of Graffiti Bridge. And then of course, you know, and she's got a pretty big history of, in music, because even during the Graffiti Bridge era, she went into the studio with Lenny Kravitz and recorded the song Justify My Love. And Madonna heard it and basically took it and released it. And when she released it, Ingrid never got credit for the song, even though she wrote the song with Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz did most of the music, along with another gentleman. I can't remember the person's name. David Giles. I can't remember who it was. But she wrote all the lyrics to it. And she had the exact same delivery that Madonna had on Justify My Love. Matter of fact, Ingrid's even released her own version of Justify My Love, which is basically the version that you know. And Madonna didn't even bother to even change the breathiness or any of that stuff. She just kind of put it out just like that. And when they released the song, Ingrid got no credit for it. And she was going to let it go. And then Prince heard it on the radio and said, "That's your song, isn't it?" Like, he knew, just because of the fact that Madonna delivered it the exact same way that Ingrid did, he knew that was her, because this was not Madonna's style. Madonna had a whole different vibe going on before this song came out, and that whole sex book and all that stuff, a whole different vibe going on. So Prince knew right out of the gate from the delivery and what was happening that it was her song. And he basically got on her case and said, "This is your song, isn't it?" She goes, "Yeah, whatever. And he said, "You need to get the rights to the song. You need to fight for this, because if you do this, you're going to be run over," and, got on her case about the music industry and everything. And so she did. And she won her case against Madonna and Lenny Kravitz. And it's, yes, they won the case, did everything. It was a long, arduous battle, but it was cool because there's a lot. And a lot of people don't know this too, but if you saw the Love Sexy tour, which was an amazing tour, by the way, fantastic tour, you guys may have remembered a track called Cross the Line that was included in, because there was a lot of theatrics and stage stuff going on. It was more like a play more than anything else. But there was a section in here called Cross the Line that Ingrid did for that. And this is that. I'll play the whole thing. I'll let you guys absorb this.
Not hearing anything. No. Nope.
You didn't hear anything?
No.
Not even the buzz or nothing? All right. Well, we just won't play that. There's anyways, I'll play it later. It's called Cross the Line, and basically it was a whole instrumental section of Prince and her, was like Cross the Line, and it was a bunch of theatrics and everything. I thought it was playing, but apparently the road is being weird. So that's fine. We'll play it later. I'll put it up so you guys can hear it. But also, a lot of people don't know this too, but she's also on Alphabet Street. She also does on Love Sexy. She's also the girl that you hear, "Rain is wet, sugar sweet, clap your hands." But then also at Alphabet Street as well. With Alphabet Street, a lot of people don't know this about Alphabet Street. But Alphabet Street is about oral. I'll leave it like that. It's an oral song. And I was trying to find the interview, because it was an old interview that Ingrid did where she was talking about how she taught Prince the alphabet, basically about doing the alphabet, And that's the reason why at the end of Alphabet Street, you hear the girl going, "A, B." That's the reason why you hear all that. And so again, Ingrid's impact and inspiration to a lot of the things that were going on with Prince during that time is just, it's undeniable. She was all friggin' over it. She was just all
Yeah,
over it.
it was.
No, the song you're talking about, Daryl says there's a, oops, I clicked on the wrong thing. It shifted on me. So there's a version of Cross the Line with Bonnie Borger on vocals. There is a song called Cross the Line, Cross the Line. This is a little bit different. This is actually a poem called Cross the Line that is, it's a little bit different. And I do actually have it. I actually have it on here, but I don't want to go through the process of doing that all over again and dealing with that. But let me see if I can actually get to it quick. I don't know if I can. Let's see. Did you hear that?
No. Nothing's coming through.
What?
I'm not trying to tell you.
Fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment.
You don't hear that at all?
Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say I, and I will take thy word.
Cross the line. Cross the line.
Anyways, that's a little clip of Cross the Line. So it was a whole intricate woven into that whole Love Sexy tour. But yeah, it is a you should look it up. You can look up Ingrid Chavez Cross the Line and Prince. You can probably find it on YouTube. The clip's out there, but it's pretty like soundboard recording of that song. It's pretty crazy. But anyways, happy birthday, Ingrid.
Right?
Oh, you know what? I one of the things that I heard in the last interview that I did with her again years ago, she said, and this is in 2018, she said she still hadn't watched Graffiti Bridge.
She hadn't watched it. Yeah.
She performed in it, but she said she still hadn't watched it. She said that when Mother's Day was coming up, when we did the interviews, said she was going to sit down with her daughters and she was planning to watch it with them so they could all experience it together. I was like, that's pretty interesting.
I wonder
That'd
if
be
I
interesting. It's just kind of weird. Yeah, I can't even believe that, but it is what it is. All right, let me share this screen too, because this is interesting news. There is a new movie that is coming out or being done, I guess, that is going to feature Denise Matthews, aka Vanity. According to Access Wire, Denise Matthews' life story is going to hit the big screen with a woman by the name of Nova Yara in the lead. That is in this picture. That is Nova, I guess, on the left, and of course, Vanity on the right. And this is obviously before she passed, obviously, but they became very, very close. And she was, I guess, she knew this movie was going to be eventually made, and this is years ago, right? Because she passed away in 2016. So that means that this is 8 years ago, more than 8 years ago, that she was planning on creating a movie about herself. And she picked this girl to actually do the part. And she has been, according to the article, she has been just kind of really going through and making sure that she was totally prepared for this, teaching, shaping, and preparing Nova to embody the role. And, so it's a movie that's going to be coming out about Vanity, and I don't know what is going to be including, or, I mean, I imagine you're going to have quite a bit of different things that are going to be in here, but there was some of the things that were said in here. I don't know that Prince fans are going to be really happy about. I think this right here, during the pair's recorded conversations, Matthews spoke candidly about her tumultuous relationship with Prince and the roller coaster that was her life as Vanity. So I think tumultuous may be a little bit unsettling to some Prince fans. But there it is. I don't know. I don't I really didn't know much about her other than, I mean, other than as Vanity, and then, the couple of that she dated Rick James, and of course she dated Prince, and
Right.
then, the Dragon movie,
Yeah.
whatever that was. What was
You are the master.
I didn't
Yo, no.
I just referred to it as a Dragon movie. My bad.
Ted the Dragon movie.
What was it? Was it Enter the Dragon? No, what was it? What was it called? Huh?
The Last Dragon.
The Last Dragon. Yeah, the Dragon movie.
I want you to teach me some moves.
I just I don't know. I just feel like I just I didn't realize that there was so much about her that it was I guess there's stories there. I don't know. I guess we're about to find out, aren't we? Because it looked like they were already filming, and she even picked somebody to play her and just prepped her for the role and all that stuff.
You're
So,
not me yet. Keep going, grasshopper.
Action Jackson. There you go. Sorry.
Oh yeah, 52 pickup.
That's right. I guess all right. Okay.
I mean,
That's-
admittedly, the only reason I watched those was because she was in them. True story.
I know.
But the Last Dragon actually turned out to be a pretty good one. I thought it was pretty good.
Is she worthy of a feature film though? I mean, I guess anybody can have a feature film, right? Okay. We're gonna find out. We're about to find out. I like Vanity. Chick's book, Chick Huntsberry, his book, he talked a lot about walking in on Prince and Vanity multiple times during that Triple Threat tour.
Wow.
Like he wouldn't knock. He'd come in and be like, all right, I know you guys are in the shower right now, but we got to go. I was like, okay, Chick. First thing, don't give Chick a key. How about that?
Right.
I meant to mention too, if you're interested in the Madhouse 8 album, because this came up a few times, it was like, I never heard of this album. I really want it. Please go to discogs.com, which is short for discography. Like disco GS. discogs.com. Discogs.com. Just look up Madhouse 8 and you can find it there. They had like a bunch of vinyl on sale. I mean, for as little as $10. So you can get this vinyl and on CD and other things too. So anything that you're missing out of your collection, Discogs is a great place to go to fill those things. I'm just saying, Yeah. All right. So a couple final things here we're going to cover up and we'll kind of move forward. One of the really, really cool things about supporting Funkatopia, and we have a variety of different ways that you can support Funkatopia. You can support us on Venmo at Funkatopia, on Cash App at $Funkatopia. But what a lot of people prefer to do, and we prefer it that way too, is you support via Patreon at patreon.com/Funkatopia, which you guys can see scrolling across the bottom of the screen. There's a reason why I'm telling you this, not just as a pitch, but one of our board of directors supporters is a gentleman by the name of John Frost. And one of the things that you get as a board of directors level of supporter is for 1 hour a month on whatever day you want, whatever time. I prefer that you stick with whatever you choose. I'll play whatever you want on the radio station, on the Purple Yoda radio station. Now, it kind of depends on how it shakes out, but a lot of people prefer the Purple Yoda radio station, which is now going to be called Uptown Radio, just so we're clear, because we got a brand new app that's going to be coming before the end of the month. We're just waiting on Apple to clear some things up and shift some things around. But once we do that, we want to push out the new app because the new app is ready. But we're just waiting on Apple. But the whole point of this being is that John Frost, who is a board of directors, he chose that for his hour that on a specific Friday during the month, he wanted to do a live concert. Now, most live concerts go over an hour, but that's fine. Whatever. It's kind of like until we start getting into a scheduling issue, it's fine. But we had our first Friday Night Frost this past Friday, which was very, very cool. So every third Friday now, we'll be doing Friday Night Frost, which is a live concert that we will have on Uptown Radio. I'll let you know when it happens, to remind you, because the third Friday is kind of like a little bit of a wonkier thing, but it's kind of like, you want to do the 15th of every month? Yeah, that will kind of shift around too much. And what if it conflicts with this show when the 15th lands on a Tuesday, so it's kind of weird. So in order to kind of avoid all that, we just said the third Friday of every month, we will do Friday Night Frost and we'll have a live concert. So if you missed it, it was a lot of fun. We'll be doing it again next third Friday of next month, which is, I'm trying to think what it is. At 9th, it's going to be the 16th. So this February 16th, we'll be doing it again, and we'll be playing the Sendai concert. Sendai 89, playing that concert. So be ready for that. So the whole point of that being, again, if you become a board of directors level supporter, you can get an hour show. And there are some board of director level supporters that never, just never did it. It's an hour a month that you can say, I want you to play these songs.
Right.
For an hour. These are all my favorite songs. This is what I want to play. And you'll get it. You can even do advertising, not for the entire hour, but you can even advertise your company or your service or whatever during that hour. You can even do that too. That's perfectly, you're not going to get an hour commercial. That's not going to happen, but
no,
you can at least advertise, 3 or 4 times during that hour. If you want to. It's the cheapest advertising you're friggin' ever going to get for as many people that have this app installed across the world. It's pretty cool. So anyways, congratulations to John Frost and the Friday Night Frost, which actually happened for the first time last Friday. And if you're interested in getting your own show on the Uptown Radio, just head to patreon.com/Funkatopia and do that, because it is an option that is readily available for you. Okay. Ready for that? All right.
That's awesome.
So we have 2 shows. We have finally got one more thing I'm going to talk about. We have 2 shows that we're going to be doing next week. Okay. So I'm going to start with, I don't know which one to start with. I guess maybe we should do it in chronological order. Probably in chronological order, right?
Totally.
Chronological order. We'll just do that. So starting on Wednesday next week, we will not be doing a show on Tuesday of next week. We're doing a show on Wednesday of next week. It's a very, very special guest, and I am very much looking forward to this. We are going to be sitting down with the one and only, right here, live on Funkatopia Live, Steve Park.
Steve Park.
Photographer extraordinaire for picturing Prince, a photographer that worked with Prince for many, many, many years. And we are going to be sitting down with him. We're going to be talking about those photo shoots. We're going to be talking about the stories behind those photo shoots. And we're going to be sitting down with Steve Park. That will be Wednesday of next week. Wednesday. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. Are you looking forward to that? I'm looking forward to that.
I am looking forward to that. I'm fired up. That's going to be serious. He's got a lot of years with Prince.
Yeah, and I mean, and it really, if you look at the book, I mean, the book itself, I mean, there are so many pictures in here that a lot of people just haven't seen. I mean, there's just, some of these pictures that are in this book. This is his book, Picturing Prince, And I think I actually have an extra copy of this book. And during the interview, I will be giving away one of these copies. Some lucky viewer will be here. I mean, just some of these pictures are just so friggin' cool. We're going to talk about the stories
That's awesome.
behind some of these photo shoots, and we're going to be spending some quiet time with Steve. And I'm so glad that he agreed. I'm very excited. Very, very excited that he's going to be on the show for sure. And lastly, but not leastly, then 3 days later, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, on Saturday, February 3rd, it will be the unveiling of our guest that we had on last week, Maggie Keene's mural in East Point, Georgia. So we will be there live. So we will be there for the unveiling. There's actually apparently Maggie mentioned that there was 2 unveilings that were happening that day from the organization that's behind it. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of them right now. It's okay. But there's 2 murals that are being unveiled that day. I think they're doing the first one earlier in the day, and then this one's going to be the second one. And this is going to be, we will be there. So if you are in Georgia, you can come down there and join us. I don't know if you're going or not, but
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
okay. So we're going to be there, and we're going to be covering the unveiling of the mural live, so that all of you fine folks from all over the world will be able to see the unveiling with us and get a little bit of you're going to be able to see this be unveiled right here at East Point, Georgia. We'll be there live February 3rd.
And it's supposed to be a pretty decent temperature Saturday, right?
This is 2 weeks away. I have no idea. I mean, basically, it's like a week and a half away, right? It's
on that Saturday. I'm sorry. I know I said.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks, but it's a week and a half away. And with Georgia weather, you've no freaking idea. I'm
claiming it.
We have to claim it. We have no intelligible weather people in the state of Georgia anyway.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be blue like that sky behind there already. This was actually day 2 or 3 that she was there. So kind of gives you an idea. This was the last picture that she posted of the progress. She goes, "This is it. I'm not doing any more progress shots. This is it. That's all I'm putting up." So we'll be there for that.
I like that. That's a really solid tease.
Yeah, that's a really, really solid tease. And I'm thinking, because of the setup there in the middle, I'm thinking we'll also have mirrors too. I think we're going to have mirrors also, which is going to be very cool. Again, can't wait. Renee says, what time? And we don't know. We don't know that, because I asked specifically for a time, and she said because of the fact they're doing 2 mural unveilings. My guess is that it will probably be in the afternoon or probably early afternoon. But as the time gets closer, I will find out from Maggie when it's going to be, because she'll probably have a little bit of an idea as well. So we will we'll definitely check it out. It's going to be fun. So be prepared to join us next week. Again, Wednesday, not Tuesday. We're moving the show because we had some scheduling conflicts with Steve, because he was going to be out of town. And it was going to be a whole thing. So we moved the show to Wednesday so that Steve Park will join us Wednesday, 8 p.m. Same time. You don't have to do anything. There's not a whole bunch of things that you have to remember. Just know that January 31st, the final day of January, be here for Steve Park. Yes, we're going to do it. And then very next day, or 3 days later, Saturday, we will be sending you the live unveiling of Maggie Keene's latest mural creation in East Point, Georgia. So it's going to be fun.
I love it.
That'll be amazing. But I tell you what, it's been a lot of fun getting together with you guys and just kind of going through the news and whatnot. This was completely no joke, totally unplanned.
Last second decisions.
Yeah. We were gonna do a show because I knew that next week was going to be a little bit harried with the Wednesday and Saturday. But there you go. And thank you to Marcus Thompson from Tomic Social Club stopping in and clearing up the rumor of rumors, and that the Susan Inn that mentioned in rumors
I love it.
who says she's just a tease, 6 foot tall, camisole, she'll knock you to your knees, is about Susan Moonsey. The rumor is cleared up. It's factual. He wrote the lyrics to that song. He knows who he wrote it about.
He knows who he wrote it for. Don't tell him that he
Yes.
wrote it for someone else.
So I got to make sure that I indicate that we had Marcus on the show briefly because that was a surprise. I sent out the invitation and I gave him the link and I said if he shows up, cool. We'll talk. We'll move from there.
Now we have to have him back. Spend some quality time with us.
Yeah, we got to talk a little bit more about Timex Social Club and some of the other craziness. It's fun. All right, folks. We hope you had a good time. We love you all so very much. We're working through everything and
we are.
Yes. Good night. And we love you all. And we will see you next Wednesday. Don't come here Tuesday. Come here Wednesday for Steve Park.
Clear something up before we close this. Funkatopia Jones on TikTok.
All right. So let me just this is kind of weird. When I first signed up with YouTube many, many, many years ago, it insisted that I give it a last name. And I was just like, Jones. Screw it, Jones. I was like, I don't know. Freaking Jones. I'm not going to do Horton.
Jones.
I just do Jones. Funkatopia Jones, whatever.
Jones.
So there are 2 YouTube accounts on, we'll get to TikTok in a second. There are 2 YouTube accounts on YouTube, on Funkatopia accounts on YouTube. One is Funkatopia Jones, which unfortunately has about 8, almost a dozen videos, maybe something like that on it that belong on the Funkatopia account and should be shifted over to the Funkatopia account, but exists in this. And it also has some subscribers to it too, which is very unfortunate.
Right.
So all that being said, that's where Funkatopia Jones came from. Somebody alerted me. Who was it that alerted me? I'm sorry. You got to understand. I get dozens and dozens and I literally get dozens of messages every day. Who?
Adriana Copeman.
I think it was Adriana. Yes, I think you were right. It was Adriana who mentioned. Yes, Adriana. Thank you. She mentioned to me that there was an imposter on TikTok who has called themselves at Funkatopia Jones 68. So it's a merging of my personal Facebook. It's so weird. It's a merging of Funkatopia Jones, which is not really a legit account, and they added the 68 on the end of it, which is my birth year. So it's really weird. So it's at Funkatopia Jones 68. I did not watch, Adriana, just so you know, I did not watch any of those videos because you sent me the link, but I did not look at them. I could look at the videos and know that they were not mine. Just put it that way. I looked at the videos and was like, that's not me. And the 68 part's weird too, because it's I don't think it shows the birth year. And my personal Facebook account is Chris Horton 68. So it's weird. It's this merging of everything. And they use the Funkatopia.com logo as their profile picture. The one that's behind you right now. So it's I don't understand what's happening. It's this weird invasion of, it's just weird. But scary things are happening online right now, especially with the insurgence of AI. You heard this latest thing with AI created Biden created a message from Joe Biden and have called a bunch of supporters, somehow got a list of his supporters and called a bunch of supporters, and it's basically Joe Biden doing this thing, telling people not to go out and vote. Don't go out and vote. It's not important right now. We're focusing on this, that. It's this whole thing that was created by AI. It's just, you have no idea what's real and what's not. This was a very, very feeble attempt trying to recreate anything. I don't even know what it looks like. Maybe I should try to pull it up to see what it looks like. Funkatopia. Okay, hold on. Funkatopia. The Funkatopia Jones is there.
Yeah.
But I think
Jones
I
is
think
there.
that's mine. But I think it's Funkatopia Jones 68. I think is the one that she showed me. And there's a Funkatopia Comp Funk, which there's like a bunch of Funkatopia accounts. It's really weird. I don't think any of them are me. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know what to do with about it. But
Yeah, it's just Funkatopia all over.
yeah, so we love all you. It's not me on TikTok. I have not mastered TikTok. I have not done anything with TikTok. I am too busy to do freaking TikTok. I'm not 12.
Maybe I'll go through and get these people murdered. Sorry.
Do what you got to do.
Down.
Talk to Trump's people.
Yeah, and his people and my people can do lunch.
President Trump 2024. I'm not claiming it. I'm just saying it's about to happen, folks. If you guys haven't been watching the news, it's time to be terrified. Because the race isn't even close, and I don't know what we're going to do. Which explains why everybody's building these underground bunkers right now. It totally explains why Taylor Swift and Elon Musk and friggin' all these people are building underground. It's terrifying. Dude was at 59%, and his closest was in the 20s. That doesn't even make any sense, dude.
Yeah,
It's not even close. I'm terrified.
I'm not going there. Not having a conversation about it.
I'm just it's too late.
Nope.
It's
Nope.
conversed. It's been conversed.
Make me drink, man. You got
I know. It's
not doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Zuckerberg did it too. Yeah. All these people are building underground bunkers. It's terrifying. All right. I'm concerned for our country. God bless. Love you. Good night.
Here's the note we want to go out on. Build a bunker. Good night.
Time to build out your basement a little bit. Put in those extra soundproof walls and
Get your
radiation
from sea, man.
Yep, got to radiation proof. Got to radiation proof yourself.
Mm-mm.
It's time to get into the bunker business.
Yeah, well, vote. That's really. Oh yeah, there you go, Joe.
I would put in a bunker, but I got a septic system to work around.
It goes right through the basement.
It's gonna be messy if I put a bunker down there. Oh Lord, have mercy! Lord's gonna save me. Trump 2024. Lord. This is one of the reasons why we need to stick to a script right here. It's just. All right, welcome to the dawn. We love you guys. Good night. See you Wednesday. We'll see you Wednesday. Good night for real. Good night.